Hello everyone, my name is IJ, and welcome to Project Redstoneworld Devlog, episode 28. So, this is part 2 of this April devlog series. Part 1, we focused on everything else besides the central part of the RTC. So, we went throughout all the recent changes that have happened since our last official devlog, which was in September. Going out through the main bunker, the cruise ship, the theme park, everywhere else surrounded by R-Corp rail, and Founding Island itself, and this part of the RTC here, the R-Corp bridge. So, the RTC footage was already going to be included in that, but the video was ultimately split into that one and this one, because the RTC needed to get some more attention, and the changes were a lot more in-depth than I expected them to be. So, I highly recommend checking out the previous part first, because it even covers a bit of the sector that we are talking about here. And now I'm going to start off with replaying the footage that was cut from the part 1 about the RTC areas before I started not giving things proper attention. See you soon. Alright, now going to the actual FI bunker. Wrong part of the FI bunker. Going over here, we now have a new emergency exit in the FI bunker. And this one is just for interaction between the FI bunker and the RTC, and this is the regular player one. We have not built the admin one yet. This is for anyone. So you just go in there, and then it's going to take you sharp underground, and then even sharper underground, and then you use my really weird door design for the rails, and now you are in RTC land, and I hope that we have that. And then right over here, this is the station, and this does support lockdowns in both sides. I have started introducing detectors for a RTC bunker lockdown, but the RTC bunker lockdown itself does not exist yet. But if the FI bunker is on lockdown, then this door will close, and if the RTC bunker is on lockdown, then the emergency exit door in the FI bunker will not work, and the track will shut down. And now in the RTC bunker itself, we do have, this is where, what the heck is this? That's great. Alright, we're just gonna leave that in there. Let's see who did that. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Okay, so this already works. So we have a card reader for the level 3 in here, so this is going to be a tertiary zone, and it will have interaction with the tertiary zone of the FI bunker. And this will be controls. And I don't know if we're going to have controls for the reactor here, like I said we were going to, or another spot. And we'll be getting into that in just a little bit. And by just a little bit, I think I mean next part. Alright, I am back, and we are now arriving back at the RTC bunker. We, of course, have preserved our schizophrenia signs, and reception is spelt wrong. But, continuing forward, I showed off the admin room previously, correct. But now, through the kitchen, we finally have the exit through the ground. Because for a long time, the entrances to this bunker worked, but this didn't exist, and that didn't exist. If you got down here, you were trapped here, and you would starve to death. But now we have the train entrance, and if that one is blocked off due to, like, the lockdowns, then you can exit through these stairs. And these stairs go directly up to RTC2, Tower 3.0, floor -1. Which is also known as the Industry Complex. And we use this name, Industry Complex, a lot more than floor -1, because really, the Industry Complex makes Tower 3.0 giant. It adds a massive part to the sector, and we're really low down. Yeah, we're at Y = 17. So Tower 3.0 is a lot bigger than Tower 2. Now, before we cover all the specific stuff in the industry complex, let's continue showing off the Tower 3.0 stair system. I'm going to keep saying Tower 3. I know it has to have the .0, but I'm saying Tower 3. Okay, so going up these stairs, this will take us to floor 0. Before, you were stuck on the elevator moving between the industry complex and floor 0, and now that's no longer the case. So this is the floor 0 changes that I was talking about wanting to make in Devlog 25. We now have this area opened up, like I said I was going to do. We had this nice light pattern on the roof with the new copper bulbs. We have this extended bar area. I don't know if we're going to have any redstone functionality in here. Now, in this area, for sure we need redstone functionality. Just kidding. But going this way, we also have on the other side the tunnel system. This is actually the starting point, so I guess this is where it all begins now. And over here, I have to put the signs of like everything big that it leads to. And right here is where Tower 2's is. So this is another, you could kind of consider this an underground bridge between the two towers. And I don't know why we have East Wing Complex and Hotel both listed here, because the biggest part of the East Wing Complex is the hotel, but I don't care. Over this way, you have a view of the oldest floor in Tower 2. And did we label this yet? Oh, we did label this. That's nice. Only slightly, but it's got some labels. That's cool. Label and everything. And then, yeah, and check out the previous part. We talked a bit too much about maps. Right above it this is where we had the 12-year anniversary group photo. Now, of course, it looks a lot sadder because there is no one there and it is completely dark out, but we had it was a very vibrant day, and it was a great photo. And this place comes with a secret that none of our other photo taking spots have, and that is this note block down here that will set off the celebration fireworks, which opens up a hole in the ground. And now let's turn that off because I don't want this to be running throughout the whole pulse extender. So that also kills my frames per second. Jesus Christ. Anyways, continuing forward, let's go to the main lobby now. So here we can just, this part hasn't changed, just the, I don't know if the guard swore at you in the last time, but now he does. But right here on the main lobby, I said, I didn't know we had all this empty space over here, and then we had some stuff over here. I moved that all right here, and I added what I wanted to do for a while. So, you know, in the Tower 2 floor, we do have this, like, kind of model thing of Manhattan. I was thinking about, okay, so we have New York here, maybe do Chicago in the other tower, but I also didn't really want to do that. So instead, we made this one Redstone World focused, and this covers both the Founding Island and RTC, and it's like a model of the whole thing. Right here, you have the Founding Island ice fields, the big wall, main entrance here, lighthouse, harbor. We don't talk about that one. Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3.0. And right here, the farm and storage. I think this is the hotel. Yeah, that's a nice change. And we also didn't have to flood it with barriers like I think we did with this one. Did we have to cover this one with barriers? I can't navigate the own tower that I designed. Yes, we why did we do that? We don't need barriers here. I don't think that there's any reason to have barriers here. That just really limits. Like, I know there are some serious barrier haters on Redstone World, but I feel like this is one of the few times where it's justified, because why is there barriers here? You're gonna see a lot more areas of barriers here, and I get yelled at for a lot like this. This is so that you can't fall into your death. This is because this is a secured area and you shouldn't be falling in. TV, I actually just fixed this yesterday. So this TV wasn't working. It's fixed now, which is really nice. And then right here, this area has received some expansion, because, you know, this area, this is normally like the weird winding path that takes you from the courtyard to floor 1.5 of Tower 2, and the plateau up here. But now you have this extension here. This takes you to the Tower 3.0 lobby floor. And right over here is a connection with floor 0. And this tunnel looks kind of scary because this is like the theme of the infection by the great cataclysm in Tower 3.0. And now, over here, the garden, which we were just calling the garden before, is now RTC Courtyard 2. So we have the old one, and we have the pretty one. So this, and good, there's just a blue one there. This, now, it connects to both towers, so this is no... We're kind of taking away features from Tower 2 and giving them to, like, RTC at large. But that's okay. I mean, they're not competing. We're all together here. Got it? And then one last thing in floor 0 is that it now has access to the emergency exit, which goes down to the RTC something bunker. I don't know what SI prefix to use for this bunker because, of course, we talk about and that's not really SI, but you know we have the main bunker, which we just say bunker, and then we have mini bunker, which we refer to the founding island, and then micro bunker is the GES. So I don't know, what do we consider this? Do we consider this, because I don't think this is FI bunker levels, not at all. So I guess this is another micro bunker. I wouldn't put it down to nano, but it's stupid, who cares? Going up here, now we have another emergency exit. This one does the same thing. All emergency exits in Tower 3 are going to go down to the bunker. But now this is stairs up to the commons floor, which has not received any changes. It, of course, has to get its functionality and everything. And speaking of functionality, no, it is not finished yet, but I am doing work on this floor in Tower 2. And I wanted to make this floor really good, so it is extremely difficult. This is not fun. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to complete just because of how difficult it is. And I'm introducing 5 tables in total. And each one is going to have actual functioning seats that matter. So this table has 4 seats, this table has 4 seats. There are 2 outdoor tables here with 2 seats each. And then there is another outdoor table here with 4. And you see some of the work I'm doing. Deep Slate Diner. Menus, and there's actually interaction entities here on all the tables so that you can actually interact with the menus, and it's all different color, it's fancy. And if we go all the way underneath the tower, you can see where a lot of these pathfinding setups are being built. This is like one of the most annoying command block projects I've made in my life. I'd rather make the rate game twice than do this once, but I'm gonna do it, and it'll work eventually. And then the stairs here were already present. They are in this weird maze of an area. This is, you have to like go through this balcony that connects to the garden, and that takes you to the mall. From the mall, you can go up to the casino. And now, with the casino floor, there's been some changes. We have slot machines here. And, okay, so someone left an emerald in one, so we can demonstrate it. We can see if we get scammed or not. So, we got scammed. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah, the odds are definitely against you, and that is on purpose. So, it is not like 50-50 chance of winning. This looks like, it's like a 33% chance of winning, if I'm looking at that right. Yeah, so 33% chance of winning money, and the other times it just loses it. Now, the one thing that I will say is that this system isn't giving us any actual profit. And I still have to connect this to storage. Because the thing is that these emeralds are not getting sent to storage at all. And these should have hoppers right here. What the hell? Yeah, so that is going to... We need to figure out a way, like, okay, can we give some emeralds to storage? That would be nice. Maybe if you, like, lose, it does a separate thing. And now, over here, we have 2 of the, well, we built this, Grain and I, And then Cascade put in another one, but this one doesn't work because of the direction. That the direction of the droppers is just wrong. So I don't know. We may need to figure out something else to put in here, because it would be nice to have some more things. Then this is another cascade. We still have to decorate this entire place because it is not. You see, it's, and we'll probably have to shift this entire thing over because we don't want walls of wood.
There's blinds looking at
yeah, we want this more, the concrete look, so we'll get rid of the quartz and everything. We want to make it look like the rest of the tower. And now we're also talking over this way. We've gotten really good. We've gotten really, I don't know, really good. But we've gotten really big into non-Euclidean teleports, so we are making everything bigger on the inside, like think Doctor Who. So we could, if we had the ideas for it, we can make a like bigger casino floor where we have a lot more casino creations, and that could be like a kind of a group effort, because I'm not specialized in my redstone casino creations at all, but we could come together and make some. I feel like that could be cool. And now, speaking of non-Euclidean teleport, if you check the previous episode, I showed off a spleef game, not really showing it off, but showed its existence in the plot world that I already added some systems for that would make it appropriate for main world. So there's an idea that in maybe a more higher up tower 3 floor, we can add access to a whole like mini games complex, and that would be really cool. I know people will be yelling at me, "You're starting a new project," but I mean, is it really? Because we need to finish the rest of Tower 3, and that's an idea for finishing the rest of Tower 3. No? Yeah. I feel like it would be really cool. And then we have a bathroom sign here. And now here, these stairs here will take you up to the auction house landing point. So this is where the elevator terminates, right up here. And now I'm still working on designing the new elevator. I know I talked about it in Devlog 25 the way I want to do it. I gave up on it in the middle of it, and then I did some things again. New calculations, I realized, okay, I think that this may be possible, so I'm looking into it more to see if I want to design it that way, because then that would be a minecart-less elevator. It would be all players standing, it would be smooth, and I got it where, like, the math checks out with moving the player at the same speed with levitation as the elevator. It is slightly slower than this one, but that's okay. That's okay, because we are already going to be over, like, I think this is over 160 blocks in the air, so, we don't have that far to world height. But yeah, so then there are 2 stairs. This one just goes straight up. I'm happy about what I did with the windows here. I think it looks cool. And then this floor itself was a cascade creation. And then we have the spiral stairs right here. And this is allowing you to still have a bit of a view of the redstone as you go up. And, of course, you have the big windows on all the sides. And it is right here where we are going to have another set of stairs. That's why there's a missing ceiling here, because this is going to go up. And I'm hoping that we can get the second half started soon, but the industry complex is also a massive part of Tower 3.0, and that has been receiving a good focus too. So now, speaking of that, we are done with the above ground things of this tower in the main part of it. So we are going to go underground, way down to the industry complex. So of course, if you're unfamiliar with it, the industry complex is the bottom floor of Tower 3.0, where we have this big, like, 4-place hallway. In the bottom of this is actually a massive send items to storage system. So anything you throw in here is going to get processed through the central pipe sorter. And this is the storage here. It is a level 3 zone. And it is split into, basically, it's categorized by the creative inventory. So it is all different categories of the creative inventory, and then you got the extras here. So the only real change that we've made in this since the last one, IMS does not exist yet. We only have, like, some of these pipe systems more better refined. And I made this all a lot faster for the automatic sorting, so that then we can have so that we can have these items coming in at a faster rate. It's changed how the water pipe moves up here, preventing just wasting time with item physics. So, yeah, this is a lot better. Today I had to do this goofy thing. I know it looks goofy, but it works. It's just that it's not going into the hoppers that this thing disables. So, that's kind of necessary. Now, on this side, this is the IMS/farms. This is a lot of, like, the side things regarding this is connected to the storage system. So this is, like, interactions with it, data, inputs and outputs. So this is a very storage system-centered hallway. Here's a lot of planning, and we kind of got this on a little bit of a hiatus right now. But we got plans for it, and we'll do stuff with it eventually. Okay, this is going to be a map of the farm in the tower area. Okay, level 2 here, and then it does this weird thing with giving your card back there, which is actually probably better than doing it inside. That's kind of, I mean, doing it outside, that's kind of dangerous. So, right here, this is a buffer for all the items going in from the farm. So this is what we've planned to be the items going in from the farms. We may have more, and if we do have more, then I can either just make them go through without the buffer, which will cause me to get yelled at, or we can try to expand the buffer. So right over here, this is a bunch of empty droppers so that the system knows that there's nothing in there. This is to make it efficient so this clock isn't running all the time. And then we'll have to make these controls be controlled in some way that isn't levers inside the inaccessible redstone. But basically, if I put like a pumpkin in here, then it's going to activate and dispense it. And these lights here, is that for the overflow? Maybe. Yeah, I think that's for the overflow. Yeah. So these lights will turn on if these chests are completely full, which indicates you screwed up big time. And now going further this way, this is the farms complex, so of course don't have much here. This is the water pipe that connects to the buffer storage, so that's where all the farms are going to output into, and some of it is with the auto crafters, which I actually already have a prototype for over here, where this one can craft cookies automatically and keep replenishing itself, which is really cool. The farms are going to be all those items that I showed. And then right over here, we have the data area. I think the word metrics, yes. So I don't know what's planned for further in this hallway, but we already have 2 giant meters here that will they go up to, I believe this goes up to 10 million. Let me see, million, 110. Yes, so this goes up to 10 million items before it overflows. And this is the number of items processed, so that can easily reach that 10 million number after some time. And then this is the number of items that are going through the buffer storage. Now, of course, we have no farms, so this is the only items that we got on here are the ones that we've tested. But the system itself for changing the number is cool. And this one's pretty accurate. We were originally going to do this with commands, but then this got thrown at us, so this is way better in my opinion. And today I just added some force loading that should make it a bit more accurate in receiving signals. And now we move to the big new addition. Something that I dreaded even thinking about and thought that I didn't even want to do in the first place, and that is the RTC Reactor. So, we had the theme park reactor project, which took a really long time to make, and I really liked it. We put a lot of effort into everything with it, and it was what I consider to be the most large in size and the most realistic reactor that Redstoneworld will ever see. And then when the idea of the RTC reactor came about, I wrote down for it, okay, not as big, not as realistic, still cool. We're not doing the ender crystal. That's like what we were doing for everything else. We had everything with the end crystal saying, oh yeah, that's the core, and there's coolant, and that's all you need to know. No, so for the theme park reactor, we loosely base it off of the actual designs of pressurized water reactors while adding in our own twist on it. And now with this one, we are doing pressurized water reactor, pressurized heavy water reactor, and RBMK. And we are trying to base it off of those three more heavily. Now, of course, there is some fantasy and taking, some liberties there. We're not making it perfectly realistic because we want to make it fun. So, but yeah, it's a lot more realistic. And the one nice thing about some of the designs that we're using is that we don't have to go crazy with the uranium enrichment. That was a whole job in the theme park, but now that doesn't need to be. It's just something simple. So here we already saw the stairs for the rest of the tower, but then this is the airlock for the reactor. And once you walk in, it will toggle, and you'll notice the particles disappeared, and that is because we actually went down considerably in the y-axis. So we are now down at -15. And now this, with a nuclear reactor, you'll think radiation. And we have now made that radiation system into global control instead of founding island control. So with the founding island control, that meant that founding island needed to be loaded for radiation poisoning to process. Now it can happen anywhere. So that applies at the theme park too. If you have the founding island unloaded and blow up the reactor, you're not safe. You're going to get the poisoning on the spot because it is now in global control. So over here, you have a dosimeter, and it says please return. So I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, no. So you have to be in the reactor. So that the dosimeter will tell you your radiation dose when you have it in your offhand. I didn't design it, so that's why I acted stupid with it. And this will tell you the current level of radiation inside the reactor complex. We are not in the reactor complex yet, but we are very near it. And now with the reactor, we have introduced two new types of radiation suits: the standard issue RTC suit and the special issue RTC suit. So the standard issue will protect up to 70 millisieverts per hour. This is using our fake enchantment of radiation proof to the 7th degree. And now the special one will is to the 20th degree, and it does 200 millisieverts per hour. So, yeah, and that's basically, like, we convert hour to, like, a minute. And you can get the standard without anything, but you need a military key card for the special, which you see in here. And there's, like, extras here. Okay, yeah, that's just for the admins. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. And now here, this is the airlock to actually get into the reactor complex. You press decontaminate. It will decontaminate you, and now you are in the reactor. And now you see a new boss bar, which is saying that we are currently getting 0.08 microsieverts per hour, which is nothing until we make it something. So right here, this is the testing spot. I have a tag that prevents me from getting the actual poisoning, but here you can add and change it, and you can change the units, and now we're in the millisieverts, and over here, now we're getting crazy radiation poisoning. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's just crazy. Alright. Okay, that's enough of that. Please delete the radiation poisoning. And now I don't have to take away all the tags because we did a better system. But yeah, this is the radiation system for the reactor, and this is all in one chunk. It is really, really cool. So I was really impressed when I just logged in and saw this build. And then over here, this is the control room. You need a military key card. And this has a detailed book, which I'm not going to go through right now just because of how long it is. But it's 25 pages, and it goes through details about all these controls. So this is... God! All these controls are going to work at some point. And this is part of the realism. So you'll see that these are fancy, which is why you need the book. So, I mean, some of these, like, you know what displays are, you know what lockdown is. But, like, heavy water controls, you're going to need the book for that. So Yeah, we're gonna make something really, really cool here. I'm hoping. And now this is the enrichment area. Now this enrichment, this is just here for decoration. It's not a job because we don't really need to, but we do have the uranium stored here, so maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not gonna make that my problem. Up here we have the viewing deck of the upper biological shield. So this is where you can see we are taking our inspiration from the RBMK reactor design, rather than like the pressurized water one we were using in the last reactor. And all the blocks actually mean things. So we are going to be building the reactor underneath this. But yeah, this is just the roof of it. And I'm thinking that if we have like a full explosion, it is really easy to just like, I could open up all this. It's a lot of clone commands, but I could just like make the roof blow open, and I feel like that would look really cool. But that is, of course, a decent amount of work. And in full emergencies, we are working on this type of backrooms liminal space thing called Limbo. So this is the RTC Limbo. It starts off as a maze. You see like all the builders of Redstoneworld's dead right here, except for me, of course. And then there's like this room with a bunch of weird hallways, like this one where you're like stuck in this. Ooh, I did not see this one yet. That's really cool. And then you have like some computers. You have a bunch of, okay, that's probably not appropriate for YouTube. Final moments lore book. So yeah, this is really cool. I'm looking forward to see, because there's gonna be 2 more levels of this, and this looks really cool. And we're gonna go crazy with like the command effects when you're in it. We're gonna make it terrifying, and that's exciting. Now this way is for the island. So the island is protected by the military key card, just like the one in the theme park. Uses that type of door. I'm not gonna wait through the airlock. But now, here we are at the island. You'll see my y-coordinate is -15. And now my y-coordinate is 79. And it also changed the XZ position too. But this is the new reactor island. I used barriers on the ceiling just because this is supposed to be restricted to the military key card. We have this bridge now that goes from the like RTC community villages, where if you are, it's supposed to start opening if you hold your key card at any point. Yep. So it's one of these crazy doors. So yeah, we wanted 1 redstone door and 1 command door. So on that side, that is the type of gate that I just reused it from the theme park. But yeah, that's the theme park one. We have 2 coolant towers, and they are going to have the lids on them again. And now, alright, yeah, I want to close this because otherwise it's going to break. Alright, and now over here, this is like the newest building here. The chimney will send you to this, like, this is like a Hugh O'Brien hideout instead of the JI hideouts. This is like something even more dangerous, and there's a message there. And now for the turbine hall itself, look, this is kind of like a small building, right? But it kind of like winds, and then when you wind around, then you're in the giant turbine hall. And underneath me, you can hear a really loud fan. So these decorations look really cool. I don't know how we're going to be making functionality for this. We already have some redstone in the fan, in the form of 2 fans. So we have this one here, which is really loud, and then we have this one here. And yes, these are both inspired. I'm pretty sure because Mumbo Jumbo released that video about fans. I think that's what prompted this. But yeah, we got that one's more like the kind that was in there, and this one is just really loud, but it looks cool. And we got this giant catwalk, and it just looks really industrial, and I'm happy with how it's turning out. So yeah, that is the major RTC changes that have happened. We are still trying to work towards getting that functionality together. We do have this door. It can now be accessed with a primary staff card instead of just being blacked off, so you can still see the redstone. The vault, I didn't really talk about much, but that's just because we're still. I added a little bit in more of my command blocks, and then we added a little bit more in the builds. So this is like getting ready to start constructing the 3rd floor, train station, that kind of stuff. This hasn't been worked on in a couple months, I think. But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of functionality work for me to do, and then there's gonna be a lot of builds by trying to make the second half of Tower 3.0. I'm really looking forward to see where this goes. I don't know when the next devlog will be. Like I said in the past part, I should be trying to make some more like Redstone World showcase videos too, to have some new reach with this channel. But we'll see. There'll definitely be one by like August. So yeah, I'll just keep working on Redstone World, and there will be a devlog when there will be a devlog. I redstone it up. Commander, I don't know what's going on. I was just trying to record the new devlog, but as I was saying certain things, it felt like my mind was getting flashbanged with statements I said in the April Fool's video. I don't know if the DOS fields got me sick or something, but I feel like I should take all this as a warning sign for what is to come. I'm very worried. Nah, it's only just begun. I redstone it up.